H.Indorewala talking about the proposed Mumbai Coastal Road. More conversation.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Rishi K.
So apart from being an architect and teacher, you're also an avid researcher. All these environmental and social impact assessment studies, what has come out of them, Shweta?
So the area that is currently being reclaimed is the most ecologically sensitive part of the coastline. It lies in CRZ1, and that is the Coastal Regulation Zone 1. And the CRZ was particularly introduced to protect the sensitive and vulnerable coastal areas and livelihoods dependent on them. And increasingly, with a series of amendments, the CRZ is being, diluted, and the amendment of 2015, in fact, allows reclamation in CRZ1 areas, which are the most ecologically sensitive. So the intertidal area, in fact, has the presence of several species of corals, which are rare and endangered. There are also habitats for or nesting areas for the turtles, that is the olive ridley turtle, which is a Schedule 1 species. So there are various Schedule 1 species found within this area. And it's also important for the geomorphic or geological formations. The rock formations in that area are more than 6 million years old. And it has various habitats like tidal pools, etc. So now, reclamation is highly destructive to this coastal ecology. It will involve the dumping of boulders and debris on those habitats, the crushing of habitats such as oyster beds and natural rock formations. It will also change the profile or the gradient of the coastline, making it impossible for the fishermen to fish. Apart from causing other environmental impacts like flooding or the erosion of beaches in the north. So I think in the last show people spoke about the erosion of Juhu Beach, which is also anticipated. Now the Environment Impact Assessment Report enumerates all these impacts. But interestingly, the mitigation measures that it provides are almost laughable. It says that once the marine biodiversity is destroyed, they should put up boards which, create awareness of marine biodiversity. So those are that is the level of mitigation that they propose.
So destroy and then put up a board.
Yeah. And once the breeding areas will be affected, it's going to affect the livelihoods of thousands of fishermen. So that is something that is, again, not acknowledged even in the environment impact assessment or the social impact assessment. The social impact assessment, we are saying, is fundamentally flawed because it did not even consult the fisher community and did not even acknowledge the existence of their traditional fishing zone in that report. So the traditional fishing zone is an area which is actually designated for fishing. This is the shallow water area, which is where the fishermen have customary rights to fish in that particular area. So each village has their own demarcated zone. And so the road is not just going to affect the livelihoods of the fisher community, but also affect their traditional rights and their way of life. Or it's a cultural practice for the fisher community. It's going to wipe out an entire way of life, and none of this is acknowledged in the social impact assessment. So what we are also saying is that the social impact assessment and the environment impact assessment were done by the same agency which made the detailed project report for the coastal road. So the people who are proposing the project are also doing impact assessment. So obviously the intent
is a systematic conflict of interest. Right?
Systematic conflict of interest. I mean, there's no doubt about that at all. We're going to take some messages. When we come back, we will talk about how this is really actually a real estate project more than anything else, and the fact that you say users must pay, and then suddenly you make this totally free. So I want H.Indorewala and Ashok Datar's comments on that. Your questions are still welcome. 9967743943, 9967743943 on WhatsApp, on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram is just one word in the search bar, HRISHIKAY. I'll pop up. You could tweet out, post out, and facebook.com/radio1.mum, our official page. Pop it in the timeline inbox and you're good to go. Even if it's not a question, it's just a comment. If you're pro the coastal road, fine. Tell us what your reasons are. We're listening. And if you're against it, of course, tell us your reasons. We'll see you in a bit.